So, the Oceanic Whitetip Shark. Let's talk about it, because this is one of those species where the story is a bit shocking once you start looking more and more into it. Now, first off, the name, Carcharodontis longimanus. This shark used to be everywhere in the warm open ocean, not coastal, not reef. This one stayed out in the deep water. In fact, back in the 1950s and 60s, it was considered the most abundant large predator in the open ocean. That's not exaggeration. This is peer-reviewed science. And now it is vanishing at a very concerning rate. And this didn't happen instantly, obviously, but the decline is one of the sharpest we've seen for any big marine animal. A 2002 study in the ecological applications put the decline in the Gulf of Mexico at over 99% since the 1950s. 99. It's virtually gone at this rate. And in the Pacific, a 2012 paper by Rice and Harley estimated a 91% drop between 1995 and 2010. So what happened? Two main things. First, bycatch. The shark's natural behavior makes it curious, and it likes to cruise near the surface. That's a bad combination when longline fisheries are involved. Longlines are kilometers of baited hooks meant for tuna and swordfish, but sharks bite too, and they don't tend to survive. Secondly is obviously finning. The Oceanic whitetip has a very large rounded fin, which are valuable in the shark fin trade. Even when they weren't the target, the fins alone made them worth catching, or rather, worth cutting off. That's finning. It's banned in a lot of places now, but it still happens. Now there's the other thing. This shark is really slow to reproduce. Females don't mature until they're 6 or 7 years old, and they give birth every 2 years to only a few pups. So when the population starts to crash, it doesn't bounce back easily. Now this is a problem for sharks in general. Most sharks are extremely slow reproductive creatures. I believe the frilled shark, the very eccentric looking living fossil, I believe is the slowest reproducing animal on the planet right now. No, it has the longest gestation period of any animal, of up to 4 years long. And that's another part of the issue is most sharks have a ridiculously long gestation period. So what's being done? In 2013, the Oceanic whitetip was added to the CITES Appendix 2. That's the international list that regulates trade. And in 2018, it was listed as threatened, which is right before endangered, under the U.S. Endangered Species Act, which means it's illegal to catch or keep them in U.S. waters. But the ocean is huge. Enforcement is hard. And even when laws exist, there are places where enforcement just doesn't happen. Now, ecologically, this shark matters. It's what's called an apex predator in the pelagic zone. That's the open ocean layer. These animals help control populations of other mid-level predators, and their presence helps stabilize the whole system. You take them out, and you start to get unexpected changes, trophic cascades, and food web shifts. This was a huge shock to me personally. When I was growing up in 2007, 2008 as a little kid, being obsessed with sharks, they were not at all under the Endangered Species Act. And now in only 2025, they are critically endangered. They are one step away from becoming extinct. All of that in only 2 decades, which shocked me. It scared the shit out of me. And it is unfortunate that it appears that not a lot of people are going to care about this particular species, because especially here in the States, this shark does have a really bad reputation, because this was the sole species involved in the USS Indianapolis, which was a military ship accident that happened during World War II, in which 900 American soldiers were stranded at sea. And over the course of a few days, the white-tip sharks cruised around them and killed a lot of soldiers, and only around 320 survived. So this species, I knew this species would not get a lot of sympathy just because of that. But was I expecting it to go from threatened all the way to critically endangered in only a decade or two? No. So, I will ask again, what else are we missing?